An official, Bo Nix, the Broncos, Russell Wilson's old team. Bo Nix has now been named the starting quarterback for Week 1. Want to get your quick reaction here, Booger.
Yeah, water is wet. I think we all expected this. When Sean Payton was drooling over Drew Brees years ago, and now he gets Bo Nix, who's by all accounts is said to be Drew Brees 2.0. You go back to the workout where Sean Payton gave him the playbook the night before. He comes out the next day, and he can basically regurgitate the playbook. He goes out, makes all the throws. We knew this was trending toward this months ago. And so for Sean Payton to come out and take all the suspense out of it, I think it's good for the organization. It's good for Bo Nix. Now let's see if he can perform once the ball is kicked off for real in a couple of weeks.
Quite the journey for Bo Nix. Booger McFarland, thank you as always.
We've got breaking news from the NFL where the Denver Broncos and Sean Payton have named Bo Nix as their starting quarterback. The Broncos surprised a lot of people at the draft, taking Nix with the 12th overall selection out of Oregon. Nix has been impressive in his 2 preseason appearances, outplaying both Jarrett Stidham and Zach Wilson in the Broncos' wins over the Packers and the Colts. The Broncos open up the season in Seattle, where it'll be Bo Nix becoming the first Week 1 rookie to start at quarterback for Denver since John Elway back in 1983. No one better to talk about it than our former Denver Bronco, our Super Bowl champion Ryan Harris, joining us now. All right, he's gone from orphan puppy Ryan to starting quarterback. What do you make of Bo Nix as the starter out in Denver?
The inevitable has come true. This has been tracking this way, specifically the last 2 weeks, starting after the great performance that Bo Nix had against the Colts, into the joint practice with the Packers, where that week Bo Nix got more and more reps with the number ones, and then it finished with 2 scoring drives, and in which he threw another touchdown pass in the only 2 drives Bo Nix played in. This is something that has begun from when Coach Payton couldn't believe how intelligent Bo Nix was when they first met, made him dump out his backpack just to see if there was anything non-football in the bag. Not true. There was only a lacrosse ball for rolling out the muscles, a Bible, and a playbook. So Bo Nix from the beginning has had the ear and eye of Sean Payton, and his performance has only promoted all the best thoughts and feelings around a franchise quarterback for the front office and, most importantly, the players. He has 3 incompletions and 2 touchdown passes with no interceptions in his preseason. He had an 88% completion percentage against the Packers. Yes, they didn't have their number 1 defense out, and that's still incredibly high for a rookie. So the inevitable has happened. Bo Nix is the quarterback of the Denver Broncos for the foreseeable future.
And as we mentioned in the lead-in here, Ryan, there were a lot of people that were scratching their head at the Broncos taking him at number 12. So obviously hindsight is 20/20 here. But when you look back on that pick at number 12, it sounds like Sean Payton knew what he was doing there with that draft pick.
He had analyzed Bo Nix in every way you can imagine. And a lot of the knock on Bo Nix was about 35% of his completions in college were behind the line of scrimmage. But Coach Payton actually tested out the numbers beyond the line of scrimmage, and Bo Nix was still atop of the class. He also highlighted his abilities in key situations, end of the half, from behind, having to score, red zone efficiency. And in all these ways, the front office and Coach Sean Payton thought that Bo Nix was the right player at the right time. And again, the performance has only confirmed their expectations. Cortland Sutton looks like a new receiver because of the ability of Bo Nix to get him the football. Everyone's excited. Bo Nix can run with the football as well, design run plays, and a smart scramble, as you just saw, getting to the edge, getting outside. These are the things that Sean Payton saw early on in the analysis with Bo Nix, and it has only increased with each and every opportunity Nix has had in the NFL.
Well, and he's so seasoned coming from the college ranks where he played so much football for so long, so that experience has got to play a factor in that decision as well. I do want to go back to the little note that we mentioned there in the lead-in, the first rookie quarterback in Denver since John Elway. You're a Denver guy. You're a Broncos guy. Just talk to the significance of Bo earning not only the starting job, but standing alongside a guy like John Elway.
It has Broncos country believing 2 Super Bowls are on the way, not just one, Haley. And the thing about John Elway that Broncos fans really want is a franchise quarterback, somebody they know who can put the ball in whatever player's hands come down the path for the Broncos in the next 10 years. And this is something where for Bo Nix, that's about as high of an expectation as you can put. However, consider the fact that there have been 13 starting quarterbacks for the Denver Broncos since we won Super Bowl 50 in 2016, in that February 2016. So Broncos country wants it, and they'll take any kind of data point that points to longevity at the quarterback position, which they have not had since Peyton Manning was donning the 18 for orange and blue.
Yeah, it's got to feel good as a Broncos fan right now. You got your starting guy. You've got sort of history on your side there with the comparisons like you just mentioned there with John Elway. I am curious, though, because Bo is still a rookie and there are certain learning curves and certain things that come with playing in the first season of your NFL career here. So realistically, when you look at Bo Nix and what you've seen out of him in the preseason, what should Broncos fans be expecting this year out of him?
A prolific passer who can be accurate with the football, give the receivers the ball in ways that keep them running upon completion, and also checks at the line of scrimmage. One thing that many fans missed was few times in the limited series that Bo Nix had, he was able to change the play at the line of scrimmage, something he did in college in those 61 starts, which is an NCAA record, as you mentioned. That's what they're getting in Bo Nix. And I got to talk to him one-on-one. One of the things that he does after football, he says, I just spend time with the wife. I give her quality time, and she dictates the schedule. So this guy understands how to win both on the field and off the field, and he's inspired players, coaches, and Broncos country while doing it.
Listen, he's already got it figured out. Happy wife, happy life, happy football career. It is an exciting time in Denver. Bo Nix is the starter, and our Ryan Harris joining us to talk all about it. Ryan, let's listen in.
Play, you didn't feel like you were in harm's way a lot. You felt like this guy was in the fairway quite a bit. And remember, one of the commandments at this position, it's not how many touchdown passes, it's can you lead your team into the end zone? Can you lead your team? Can you lead your team to score points? You know, and there's a lot that goes with that. And that's really how all of these guys, when their careers are done, will be measured. Yeah, go ahead.
You talked about starting the Taylor once you've made a decision. Now, is that starting in earnest in terms of Seattle in particular?
Well, even the other night, you know, I told you we've got a couple call sheets. You know, I knew kind of the things that Bo had dotted, the same way with Jared and Zach. And then as we get into game planning, and yeah, you want to get really good at the things that you think he does well. That's coaching. You know, that's just, and so the runner that's in the game, what are we doing? Does it suit what he does? The receivers, you know, you have to begin to put your offense together, built around the skill set of your players, no different than defensively the same way. So that's part of it, yes.
Are you relieved or satisfied that this conclusion came now and didn't drag into the regular season quarterback?
Well, I don't think I would have allowed it to drag into the regular season. I just didn't want to hurry it. And everyone, listen, teams handle these things differently. There's certain things I believe in, and we kind of set out a plan. You know, and so, look, I'm pleased with how he's playing, and it's much easier, you know, to make a decision like that. Much more difficult, maybe, if he wasn't having this. You know, you guys understand where we got a chance to see it, and but that's most important for the locker room, I think. One more.
Situational that you guys have been, you know, a lot there. You talk about scoring points, you have to succeed in those areas. What are some of the common traits that you've seen team-wide that have allowed you guys third down?
Look, I mean, there's a lot of things that we've got to get better at and clean up, but if you're talking about defensively, look, we've been playing the run pretty well. Granted, it's just the preseason. We've had a joint practice. Offensively, you know, we've done a good job of avoiding the minus plays. We had a couple the other night late in the game. But staying on schedule gives you a much better chance of scoring. And then from the kicking game standpoint, you know, we're all finding our way through the obviously the kickoff and the kick return, and so we're still a good, call it a week and a half almost left of what is training camp before we get into Seattle, and we keep working at it. So that's kind of where we're at. Appreciate you guys. Yep.
So an optimistic Sean Payton surrounding his new quarterback one, Bo Nix, who has been named the starter for that Week 1 Seattle game. And taking a look at how Vegas feels about the Broncos this year, here's how it looks. 20-to-1 odds to win the AFC West, so a little far off there. Maybe a Super Bowl in the future, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see, but we don't have to wait to hear Bo Nix.
Kind of informed you guys that, hey, this is the decision going. What was that like for you hearing that in the process?
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It was really cool. It's, not every day to get that news, but obviously, as a room, we've been working hard and, putting a lot of good things on film, putting a lot of good things, on the practice field. And so to get that news is definitely a great thing. And so I'm super excited and, ready to get back to work again and go back to it and start again.
Coach told us that he told you on the practice field right before. Can you just take us through that moment and what it was like hearing that?
Yeah, he walked up, said he's going to tell you guys this afternoon. Let's have a good practice.
At what point along the way here, whether, mini camp or in the camp, when did you start to feel like feeling comfortable? Was it right from the start? Did it take a little time?
That's a unique question. There's still things that I'm trying to gain comfort in, other things that I feel comfortable with that started early. So I don't think as a quarterback you ever feel, ultimately extremely comfortable because there's always a defense that you're having to go against, always certain things that you see or learn on a daily basis. But, the past few weeks I've felt really comfortable, and getting to a different defense, playing these preseason games have really helped me a lot, and I think that's helped in the growth process. But feel really comfortable where I'm at now, and excited to get to the last week of preseason and then get to the full season.
Well, I know you said that a few weeks ago, but you'll be the first rookie to start at QB Week 1 for this team since John Elway back in 1983. Just what do you think that moment will be like? And obviously going back to the city where you played before, what will that moment be like for you?
Well, it'll be a special moment, and obviously that's great to share with such a great player like John Elway. But